Player 1. Ready na ba kayo? Press start. Pero bago tayo mag-level up sa game, ipapakilala ko muna ang developers ng Automation Quest, ang GR2 Games. That's us. Yung J para kay Jamima Paganaw, R2 para kay Robert Abaratigi at Rovic Cueto, at T para kay Trixie Reyes. Now, let the game begin. Welcome to Automation Quest, ang ultimate mission para i-optimize ang industry, i-empower ang workforce, at isulat ang susunod na level ng ating technological evolution. Now, think about it. Paano nga ba natin napapabilis ang paggawa ng mga produkto? Napapababa ang gastos at napapahalagaan ang kaligtasan ng mga manggagawa. Lahat yan sa tulong ng automation? Sa intro na ito, susubukan natin i-level up ang ating kaalaman sa automation, reasons for automation, specifications ng automation, at ang application nito sa transporting, packaging, at working. Pagkatapos ay susundan ang bonus stages wherein tatalakayin natin ang tatlong klase ng robots, limited sequence, point-to-point, at continuous control. Kasama na ang energy sources, industrial o non-industrial na paggamit at design kung paano sila nabuo at na-optimize. Siguro napapaisip kayo bakit natin kailangan i-discuss kung bakit to lahat ang matter. Ang sagot simple lang. Kasi sa contemporary world, we're in a constant battle against time, cost, at quality. Kung hindi tayo mag-automate, talo tayo sa global competition at maubos ang resources natin. Pero sa pamamagitan ng smart automation, nakaka-level up tayo, nagiging mas productive, mas ligtas, at mas innovative. Katulad ng isang gamer na sumasabak sa pinakamahirap na boss fight at nananalo gamit ang tamang strategy at power-ups. So, ano nga ba ang automation? Automation is defined as the process to create, control, and monitor the applications of technology. The process of handling the operation of equipment such as processors, machinery, stabilization of ships, aircraft, boilers, and many applications within minimal human efforts. Pinakasimpleng salita, ito ang proseso kung saan gumagamit tayo ng makina o software para gawin ang mga task na dati manual, mula sa pag-assemble ng parts hanggang sa pag-scan ng quality ng produkto na walang tuloy-tuloy na human intervention. Bakit mahalaga ito? Imagine mo ang isang conveyor belt na umaandar ng 24/7, gumagawa ng eksaktong pareho at perfect na sa bawat cycle. Yun ang kinabukasan ng efficiency at reliability. Now, moving on to the reasons of automation. We have about 9 reasons kung bakit natin ginagawa ang automations. First, it is to increase labor productivity. Next, to reduce labor cost, to mitigate the effects of labor shortages, to reduce or eliminate routine, manual, and clerical tasks, to improve worker safety, to improve product quality, to reduce manufacturing lead time, to accomplish processes that cannot be done manually, and lastly, to avoid the high cost of not automating. Bakit natin tinatalakay ang reasons for automation? Una, para mabawasan ang labor cost at labor shortages. Hindi ba't game changer yon sa panahon ngayon na malala ang kakulangan sa skilled workers? Pangalawa, para ma-eliminate ang routine, manual, at clerical tasks. Para hindi na nauubos ang oras natin sa paperwork at focus tayo sa creative at strategic bagay. Pangatlo, para ma-improve ang worker safety, robot arms ang mag-handle ng hazardous welding at toxic chemicals habang safe nasa gilid ang tao. Pang-apat, para matiyak ang consistent na product quality. No more god-awful rejects dahil sa human error. Next, para ma-reduce ang manufacturing lead time. Mas mabilis na delivery, mas satisfied ang customer. And to accomplish processes that cannot be done manually, like microscopic assembly sa clean rooms o deep sea explorations. At panghuli, para maiwasan yung sobrang laki ng cost kapag hindi nag-automate. Dahil kapag talo ka sa competition, game over ang negosyo.
Ngayon, pag-usapan natin ang classification of automation. Classification of automation. The 3 main classifications are based on hardware and software. These include fixed hard automation, programmable automation, and flexible automation. Fixed automation. It involves hardware only, considered for high demand volume, long product life cycles, offers maximum efficiency and low unit cost. Disadvantages includes large initial investment and inflexibility. Ano nga ba ang fixed automation? Ang fixed automation ay parang built-in cheat code. Idinisenyo para sa isang espesyal na task na paulit-ulit at walang variation. Imagine mo isang bottling line na 24/7 lang ang takbo. Hindi na kailangang i-reprogram hanggang magbago ang produkto. Ito ay dedicated lang sa isang task. Zero flexibility, pero mataas ang throughput at pinakamababang unit cost sa high volume production. Isa sa real-world application nito ay sa automotive industry, kung saan sabay-sabay na nagwe-weld ang robot arms sa pagkakasunod-sunod na puntos ng chassis. About its future developments naman, mas pinabababa ang changeover time sa pamamagitan ng modular tooling. Kahit fixed setup ito, nag-e-explore pa rin ng digital twins para i-simulate offline ang maintenance. However, fixed automations comes with its own challenges as well. Isa na rito ang high initial investment of downtime kapag may design change. Kailangan ng mahabang planning horizon. Programmable automation. It's a combination of hardware, machine, and software programmable. Used when rate of production are small and there is variation at the product. Equipment can be easily changed according to product configuration needs. More different variety and unique products can be produced economically in small amounts. One set of program to control the whole operation of product is considered for batch production with different product options. It also offers flexibility to deal with changes in product. Disadvantages include new product requires long setup time and high unit cost relative to fixed automation. Sunod naman nating alamin ang programmable automation. Ano nga ba ito? Ang programmable automation naman ang level up setting, kung saan pwede mong baguhin ang program kapag mag-iba ang product batch. Ang maganda sa kanya is siya ay may reconfigurable sequence, kaya ng system na mag-execute ng iba't ibang jobs pero kailangan maglaan ng downtime at technician para sa changeover. Makikita ang programmable automation sa mga batch production sa electronics assembly. Panagibang modelo ng PCB, na-reprogram lang ang pick and place robots. At ngayon, may integration na ng AI para sa self-optimizing changeover. Paggamit ng cloud-based configuration management para sa remote programming. Isa sa mga challenge nito ay ang downtime at expertise requirement sa bawat reprogramming. Risks ng programming errors na magdudulot ng rejects. Pagdako naman tayo sa pangatlong automation. Ito ang flexible automation, also known as flexible manufacturing system and computer integrated manufacturing. It's a combination of hardware and software that can be easily changed without waiting the whole operation completed. It can be programmed for different configuration product. Usually, configuration products are limited compared to the programming automation. It allows combination of certain system. Different products can be made in the same time at the same manufacturing system. It's considered for low production rates, varying demand, short product life cycle. It offers flexibility to deal with design variations and produce customized products. Disadvantages includes large initial investment and high unit cost relative to fixed or programmable automation. Ito ang ultimate power-up, real-time switching between produkto nang walang significant delay. Hindi na yon traditional changeover. Ang command set tooling ay dynamic na nakaset up sa software. This automation has high variety, low volume batching, smart sensors at adaptive controls ang puso ng system. One instance of its real-world application is automobile assembly line. May mga development din sa automation na ito. Nagkaroon ng fully autonomous lines na gumagamit ng Edge AI para sa decision making on the fly, digital twin ecosystems at virtual commissioning bago pa man physically deploy ang bagong product. But of course, nagkakaproblema din sa complexity ng system integration. Mataas ang dependency sa network reliability at cybersecurity risk dahil sa mas maraming touchpoints. Now, let's level set kung paano ginagamit ang automation sa tatlong pangunahing application. Una, para sa transporting. Imagine ang isang warehouse kung saan walang kailangan tao para magdala ng materyales mula point A papuntang point B. Sa halip, autonomous guided vehicles or AGV at mobile robots ang gumagawa nito. Ang key concept dito ay material handling automation, kung saan robots ang naglilipat ng pallets, bins o produkto ng paulit-ulit nang walang human fatigue. Isang real-world application ay ang paggamit ng Amazon Robotics sa kanilang fulfillment centers, kung saan libu-libong mobile robots ang nagpapabilis sa order fulfillment cycle. Ngayon, trending na ang AI-driven route optimization at edge computing para ma-navigate ng mas maayos ang mga robots sa dynamic na warehouse environment. Pero hindi madali ang challenges, tulad ng obstacle avoidance, integration with existing warehouse management systems, at cybersecurity risks sa fleet management ay kailangang masolusyonan. Sa hinaharap, makikita nating umuusbong ang fully autonomous long-haul trucks, drone delivery at mas seamless na multi-agent coordination gamit ang frameworks tulad ng ROS Navigation Tax, Siemens Techmatics at OS RoboMaker. Sunod naman na application natin ay sa packaging. Sa packaging automation, robots at automated machinery ang nag-fill, seal, label at palletize ng produkto. Dito papasok ang concept ng secondary packaging automation, kung saan pick and place robots at cobots ang kumakasa sa task na dati mano-mano at prone to error. Halimbawa ang Coca-Cola ay gumagamit ng high-speed bottling lines na may integrated machine vision para sa defect detection, nagpapadrop ng rejects at nagpapa-level up ng quality control. Ngayon, trending na ang paggamit ng collaborative robots or cobots at AI-powered vision systems para sa flexible handling ng iba't ibang packaging formats. Kasama sa mga hamon ang product variability, regulatory compliance para sa food and pharma packaging, at sustainability requirements na nagdadrive ng circular packaging. Sa future, maaasahan natin ang malawakang deployment ng reinforcement learning, optimized bagging systems at digital twins. Para sa virtual commissioning ng packaging lines, kasalukuyang tools frameworks dito ang Omron Packaging Solutions, ESCO's Automation Suite at open source platforms gaya ng ROS Industrial. Ang panghuli nating application ay ang tinatawag ng working or the assembly and inspection. Kapag sinabi nating working, tinutukoy natin ang mga robotic assembly, welding at machine vision inspection task. Ang core concept ay automated task execution kung saan robots ang nag-assemble ng complex parts, mag-weld sa precise joints at mag-inspect ng micro defects. Sa automotive industry halimbawa, FANUC at ABB, robots ang nagpapatakbo ng spot welding at painting cells, habang mga vision systems ang nag-scan ng surface defects na masyadong maliit para sa mata ng tao. Trending ngayon ang human-robot collaboration na pumapayag sa mga cobots na gumalaw sa tabi ng tao ng ligtas, pati na rin ang paggamit ng digital twin at augmented reality para sa remote programming at maintenance. Pero may iba pa ring hurdles gaya ng safety certification, complexity ng programming at high skill requirement para sa maintenance teams. Sa hinaharap, makikita natin ang musang plug at play robots, low-code, automation platforms at mas advanced na AI-driven adaptive control na tutugon sa on-the-fly adjustment sa assembly line.
Dumako naman tayo sa bonus stage, ang tatlong klase ng robots. Una na rito, ang limited sequence robot. In limited sequence robot, the movement is limited in linear direction. It uses mechanical stop and limit switch to control manipulator movement. Difficult to fix the stop point. The stop point on the path cannot be changed easily. Mechanical stop gives a fixed position stop, repetition of plus minus 0.5 mm. The cost is cheap, from 25% to around 50% compared to others, used for casting, pressing, and fixed movement. Disadvantages include limited control and movement and takes longer time for setting the machine. The robot is described as not sophisticated. Ang limited sequence robot ay yung mga basic units ng game, programmed to perform a fixed set of movements in a specific order. Ang key concept dito ay sequence-driven control, meaning nakaprogram na ng paulit-ulit ang steps at hindi na pwedeng i-adjust on the fly. Walang feedback loop, kaya hindi niya alam kung may sumablay sa task habang ginagawa ito. Pero huwag niyo i-underestimate, perfect ito for simple repetitive jobs like pick and place, loading or stamping. Real-world example neto is makikita natin sa vid, isang pick and place robot. At another example is yung assembly line na nagpapapasok ng components sa packaging trays, straightforward, efficient, and reliable. Right now, limited sequence robots are being upgraded with basic sensors to slightly increase flexibility. However, it includes rigidity. Kapag nagbabago ang layout or ang product, kailangan ulit i-reprogram o palitan ang buong setup. Future developments include making them more modular para mas mabilis ang configuration. For frameworks and tools, basic PLCs and ladder logic programs ang madalas gamitin dito. Sobrang simple pero effective. Next is the point-to-point robots. Sa point-to-point robots, the movement is in linear direction. It can stop the access at any point through the path. End of the tool program at sequence discrete points in the workspace. No control for movement speed. It moves at different speed and distance. Access can reach the destination and stop before the other access. It's usually used in industry environment where amount of work is zero and consistency between the movement of the outside object like conveyor is not needed. So dito sa point-to-point, para siyang teleporting units. Gumagalaw sila mula sa isang coordinate papunta sa isa pa without really caring how they get there. Ang key idea dito ay motion between two defined positions used when path isn't critical but position accuracy is. Gamit to sa mga spot welding sa automotive manufacturing, kung saan kailangan lang ng robot arm na pumunta sa spot A, mag-weld, tapos move to spot B. Sa trend side, mas pinapaganda na ang trajectory smoothing para mas mabilis ang cycle time. But challenges arise when path accuracy becomes necessary. Doon na sila limitado. Future improvements will likely include combining point-to-point movement with vision feedback for more adaptive behavior. For tools, ginagamit dito ang robot programming languages like KRL, Rapid, at ROS Move It para sa position planning and simulation. Finally, the top-tier player class, continuous control robots. Sa continuous control robot, the movement is in any direction continuously, used for complex workstation environment. Position and end tool must be controlled and follow 3-dimension space. Speed of movement action is different. Sa example is paint spray at welding works. And so dito sa continuous control, ito yung mga units na kayang gumalaw in one fluid motion while performing a task. Think of it like an artist painting with a robotic arm. Every stroke is calculated and deliberate. The key concept is real-time path control. Essential ito sa arc welding, painting, and spray coating, kung saan dapat tuloy-tuloy ang galaw para consistent ang resulta. Nakita rito sa video yung isa sa mga real-world application nito, microsurgery. Bali, nakita natin dito na nag-ooperate yung autonomous robot sa maliliit na bagay kaya nito, like sa mais. So, isang example is yung robot na nagpipaint sa sasakyan, like dun sa isang brand na Toyota. Yan, yung Toyota brand. And doon, like, yung continuous control produces precise, consistent at walang patid ang kilos. As for the trends, it includes the use of machine learning for path optimization and force sensors for better precision during contact-based tasks like polishing or surgical robotics. However, challenge pa rin ang high system complexity. Kasi mahal ang setup at mataas ang skill requirement for programming. Sa future, asahan natin ang integration ng real-time vision systems, adaptive control algorithms, at neural network-based planners para mas responsive sila sa environment.
Ngayon naman, tatalakayin natin ang 4 na pangunahing energy sources ng mga robot. Ito ay yung electrical, hydraulic, pneumatic, at mechanical. Electrical robots, yung pinaka-popular dahil gumagamit ito ng electric motors o linear actuators para i-convert ang kuryente sa mechanical motion. Key concept dito ang mataas na precision sa speed at position control. Kaya ideal para sa light to medium payloads tulad ng pick and place, CNC machining, at collaborative robots. Sa real world, maraming industrial arms ng ABB o FANUC ang gumagamit ng brushless DC o AC servo motors para sa welding at assembly. Trends include development ng ultra-efficient electrostatic motors na may hanggang 80% efficiency gain, pati na rin integration ng kinetic energy recovery systems sa electric drives para sa energy harvesting. Challenges naman nito ay ang dependency sa power grid, heat management at cost ng rare earth magnets. For future developments naman, includes structural batteries na naka-embed sa chassis ng mga robot at solid-state batteries para sa mas mabilis na recharge. Hydraulic robots naman ang heavy lifters ng automation. Gumagamit ng pressurized fluid para mag-generate ng malakas na force at high payload capacity. Ang incompressibility ng oil ay nagbibigay ng smooth at high force actuation. Perfect sa heavy machinery tulad ng excavators at large-scale presses. Real-world example ay ang Built Robotics Exosystem na nag-enable ng autonomous operation ng Caterpillar excavator gamit ang electric over hydraulic interference. Ang trends naman ay includes integration ng smart sensors at IoT sa hydraulic circuits para sa predictive maintenance at energy optimization. But there are still challenges like risk of leaks, high maintenance costs, at environmental concerns sa hydraulic fluids. For future developments ay bio-based hydraulic fluids, miniaturized high-pressure pumps, at digital twins para sa virtual commissioning ng hydraulic systems. Pneumatic robots naman ay gumagamit ng compressed air, magaan, mabilis mag-actuate at murang i-install, kaya madalas sa packaging at pick and place. Key concepts naman ay air compressibility at simplified design, lower force compared sa hydraulics pero sapat para sa light task. Sa real world, Festocobots at grippers ay gumagamit ng pneumatic muscles, mag-Cuban actuators, para sa safe human-robot collaboration. On the recent trends, nagkaroon ng paglawak sa paggamit ng soft robotics at pneumatic artificial muscles sa healthcare at rehabilitation robotics. Precise control hampered ng air compressibility, noise, at energy loss sa exhaust ang mga problema sa pneumatic robots. For future developments ay electro-pneumatic valves na may AI-driven control loops at energy recovery sa exhaust air, pati na rin hybrid electro-pneumatic actuators para sa mas mataas na efficiency. Mechanical robots ay yung gumagamit ng direct mechanical elements gaya ng springs, cams, gears, at rock and pinion ang pinakapayak sa lahat. Ito ay walang fluid o kuryente. Stored energy sa spring o gravity ang pinapasa ng direkta sa actuator. Real-world example nito ay series elastic actuators na gumagamit ng springs para sa compliant interaction, crucial sa humanoid at wearable robots, microscale mechanical robots para sa medical applications, drug delivery, at bio-inspired designs na gumagamit ng tendon-like elements are examples of the recent trends. However, limitado ang energy storage, kailangan ng manual winding o gravity reset at hindi scalable sa high-power task. Future developments are hybrid mechanical-electrical robots na may self-winding mechanisms at 3D printed soft mechanisms na nagbibigay ng variable compliance.
Sa pag-usbong ng automation, kilala natin ang dalawang pangunahing kategorya ng robots, industrial at non-industrial robots. Pareho silang gumagamit ng advanced technology para mag-perform ng tasks, pero magkaiba ang kanilang kapaligiran, purpose at design requirements. Magtungo muna tayo sa kung ano nga ba ang non-industrial robots. Non-industrial robots are used in home, school, field, personal education, army, medical, hobby, showcase, and promote. Non-industrial robots o service robots ang ginagamit sa healthcare, logistics, agriculture at consumer applications na kung saan hindi nakaset up ang environment nito to industrial standards. Dito papasok ang mga medical robots na tumutulong sa surgeries, delivery robots sa hospitals at campuses, at agricultural drones para sa crop monitoring. Core concept is adaptability sa unstructured environments. Kailangan nilang mag-navigate, mag-sense, at mag-make decisions on the fly. Makikita sa video ang example ng isang non-industrial robot sa real-world setting. Si Roomba, isang vacuum robot cleaner. Current frameworks include ROS para sa navigation stacks, AI vision libraries such as OpenCV and TensorFlow, at cloud-based orchestration services gaya ng Aus RoboMaker. Trends ay sa soft robotics para sa safe human interaction, autonomous drones na may edge AI for real-time processing, at social robots na kaya makipag-usap at mag-assist sa elderly care. But challenges includes regulatory compliance, safety certification, at user acceptance lalo na sa public spaces. Future developments points to fully autonomous service fleets, multimodal sensing, which includes LiDAR plus vision plus ultrasound, at generative AI controllers for context-aware behaviors. Next, alamin naman natin ano ba ang industrial robot. Industrial robots are used in manufacturing, welding, cutting, formatting, assembling, heavy works, painting. Industrial robots are more complex. Also, industrial robots consist of subsystems like kinematic, control, system, and driver. And the earliest applications were materials handling, spot welding, and spray painting. Initially applied to jobs that were hot, heavy, and hazardous such as die casting, forging, and spot welding. Industrial robots ay ang mga programmable machines na ginagamit sa manufacturing o production environments para sa tasks tulad ng welding, assembly, painting, at material handling. Ang core concept nito ay high payload and repeatability. Kayang-kaya nilang ulitin ang parehong motion ng walang pagkapagod o error. Real world, makikita mo sila sa automotive plants, kagaya ng spot welding ng cells ng Toyota at body-in-white assembly ng BMW. Mga current tools na ginagamit ay PLC, SCADA para sa process control, ROS Industrial para sa advanced motion planning at vendor suits tulad ng ABB Robot Studio at Fanuc RoboGuide. Trending na ngayon ang pag-embed ng AI-driven predictive maintenance para maiwasan ang unplanned downtime gamit ang sensor data at machine learning models. But challenges includes high capital investments, complex integration sa legal systems, at kailangan ng specialized skills para sa maintenance at programming. Sa future, inaasahan ng mas malawak na adaptation ng collaborative robots na may built-in safety features para magtrabaho ng malapit sa tao. Pati na rin digital twins para sa virtual commissioning bago physical deployment.
Our very last stage in the automation quest ay ang design basis. Para sa first generation robot has a fixed sequence program. First generation robots perform take-and-place tasks. They are blind and deaf and no sense. Tinatawag din silang robot manipulators. Simple arms na kayang pumik at maglayo ng objects pero may restricted movements lang. Core concept dito ay ang pre-programmed motion gamit ang limit switches o bangkete ng gears. Kaya consistent ang repeatability pero zero flexibility. Sa real world naman, ang halimbawa nito ay ang unang Unimate robots sa 1960s na gumaganap lang ng transfer tasks sa automotive lines at ang Stanford arm na may 5 axis na sinimulan ni Victor Sheinman. Trending ngayon ang retrofit ng basic sensors, proximity, and force sa mga existing manipulators para magkaroon ng minimal adaptivity without major reprogramming. Pero hamon pa rin ang kawalan ng error recovery at kakayahang mag-adjust sa product variants. Kadalasan, manual reset pa rin ang kailangan pag may off-path event. Sa future, inaasahan ang modular sensor kits at plug-and-play vision add-ons na pwedeng i-mount sa mga legacy robots para mabigyan sila ng limited autonomy. Karaniwang tools dito ay PLC-based controllers, simple teach pendants, at proprietary vendor tulad ng Fanuc Robo Guide para offline programming. So sa second generation robots, ang sabi dito ay second generation robot has a coordinate control between manipulator and eye sensor. New abilities of second generation robots include mobility, voice recognition, command, and having touch 4C. Second generation robots also may have multi-arm action with hand-to-hand coordination arm that is flexible. They can have microprocessor intelligence and multi-robots in crowd swarm action. Second-generation robots can also make decision. So, ito'y tinatawag din na learning robots. May kakayahan silang mag-gather ng information from their environment gamit ang sensors at gumawa ng more complex movements batay sa feedback. So, dito pumapasok ang concept ng adaptive control, kung saan ina-analyze ng robot ang data, for example, ang force or ang vision para i-tweak ang motion trajectory on the fly. Sa field, makikita natin ito sa modern collaborative robots gaya ng P-ROB2 na may embedded PC, safety braking at self-learning routines para sa dynamic tasks. Trends include integration ng machine learning frameworks tulad ng TensorFlow, PyTorch, at ROS-based perception stacks para sa object recognition at path planning. Challenges ngayon ay ang data quality at real-time processing constraints. Kailangan ng mataas na compute power at optimized algorithms para maiwasan ang latency. Future developments nito ay nakatuon sa self-optimizing algorithms at federated learning, kung saan robots in different sites ay nag-share ng learning models nang hindi kinakailangan i-upload lahat ng raw data sa cloud. Frameworks like Cross2, MoveIt, at cloud robotics platforms, robotics platforms such as AWS RoboMaker, ang nagpapagana sa mga ganitong capabilities. So last bullet, third generation robots move faster and more robust. Sa third generation robots, so sa usapang autonomy, kayang-kaya niya mag-operate largely without human supervision. May sariling central control unit at pwedeng bumuo ng complex interactions sa environment. Ang core concept naman dito ay ang multimodal sensing like vision, tactile at voice, AI-driven decision-making at kahit swarm coordination styles. Real-world example naman nito ay yung Toyota's THR3, humanoid na gumagamit ng flexible control at whole-body coordination para sa safe human interaction. Pwede na rin research swarms ng Tachi Lab, nagtatrabaho sa complex task gamit ang distributed control. Trends ngayon ay digital twins para sa virtual commissioning, edge AI controllers para sa self-tuning motion profiles, at 5G-enabled remote operation. Hamon ang cybersecurity dahil sa mas maraming attack surfaces at regulatory gaps. Sa autonomous decision-making, sa hinaharap, aasahan natin ang explainable AI in robotics, self-healing systems na automatic nagre-reroute ng task kapag may component failure, at plug-and-play autonomy modules na pwedeng i-mount sa kahit anong robot platform. Congrats Player 1! You've battled through every level of Automation Quest. And ngayon, oras na para i-check ang iyong score sa mga susunod na missions. Magtatagumpay ka lamang kapag tama ang iyong mga sagot sa pamamagitan ng pag-reflect ng mga lessons na nakuha mo sa journey na ito. First question, what is the simplest definition of automation? Alam naman natin na automation uses technology to perform tasks with minimal human intervention. It boosts efficiency and consistency across processes. So, ang sagot for this ay number 1, the process of using technology to perform tasks without human intervention. Second question, which of the following is not a valid reason for automation? So we tackled earlier that organizations automate to cut costs, increase quality, and enhance safety. Removing repetitive work also frees people to focus on innovation. So ang sagot for this ay making production slower. For the last question for this mission, which type of automation is best for high-volume repetitive tasks with little variation? First, we all know that flexible automation excels at real-time product changeovers and handling high variety, making it overkill for single product runs. Fixed automation uses dedicated tooling and hardwired sequences optimized for one task, delivering maximum speed and reliability. Manual automation, on the other hand, that's just humans doing tasks without dedicated machinery, prone to fatigue and inconsistency. So the right answer for this is fixed automation. Yay! Congratulations! So we're going to move on to the next mission. First, what is the main characteristic of fixed automation? So as I said a while ago, fixed automation uses dedicated tooling and hardwired sequences optimized for one task, delivering maximum speed and reliability. So ang sagot dito ay dedicated setup for one specific task. Second question, what best describes programmable automation? Ang programmable automation allows batch-by-batch reprogramming of equipment. It handles moderate product variety at the cost of change over time. So, ang sagot dito ay a system that can be reprogrammed between batches with some downtime. Last, what is the primary benefit of flexible automation? Again, flexible automation switch products in real time with minimal downtime. They offer high variety and quick adoption with smart controls. So, ang sagot dito ay ability to switch between product types in real time. Yay! Congratulations! Tapos na naman tayo sa isa pang mission. For our next mission, number 1, what defines a limited sequence robot? So, kanina, ang sabi natin ay limited sequence robots follow a fixed routine of preset moves. They're easy to maintain and ideal for repetitive pick-and-place tasks. So, ang sagot dito ay preset motions that follow a fixed routine. Next is, what defines a point-to-point robot? Point-to-point robots travel directly between defined positions. Their speed and accuracy excel in welding and assembly. So, ang sagot dito ay moves directly from one position to another, ignoring the path. Last for this mission ay, what is the role of a continuous control robot? So, kanina may mga examples tayo for continuous control robots. So, they trace smooth, uninterrupted paths for tasks like painting or milling. They ensure consistent quality in finished critical operations. So, the answer for this is smooth, uninterrupted motion used in painting or welding. Congratulations! Tapos na natin ang mission na ito and going to move on to our last mission. Number 1. Which robot type uses pressurized fluid to generate movement? First, electric robots rely on electric motors or linear actuators for precise motion and clean operation, but don't use fluid power. Pneumatic robots harness compressed air for fast, light-duty tasks, trading off force and precision for speed. Hydraulic robots tap into pressurized liquid, usually oil, to deliver high force and smooth control for heavy lifting. So the right answer is hydraulic robots. Next is, which of the following is a non-industrial robot? Industrial robots work in structured factory settings for manufacturing tasks. Non-industrial robots serve in unstructured environments like healthcare, agriculture, and homes. So the answer for this is vacuum cleaning robot used at home. Last but not the least, what defines a third generation robot? First generation robots execute strictly per program moves with no feedback. By third generation, robots are autonomous, sensor-driven, and AI-enabled. So the answer is fully autonomous systems with AI-based decision-making. Congratulations! Napagtagumpayan mo ang mga missions na ito. So, itype na ang password na robotics. Yay! Congrats for completing our game. I hope you learned something.